Hello everyone, and welcome to week 1 of BUL3130 Law for Professionals. So if you are watching this video or seeing this video, then that means that you have made it past the introduction or begin here material. You've completed the syllabus quiz with at least an 80% or better. You've logged into the MindTap, Cengage MindTap course as well, and now you are on your way. And this week, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a quick look at the U.S. legal system, our American legal system. Now, if you had a lower division law course, particularly business law, then this is just a refresher week for you. And yes, we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants. We've got a lot to cover in a very short amount of time. What you'll find this week, if you haven't taken any other law courses, this is your crash course into the American legal system, which is a pretty complex system when you look at the breakdown of the different aspects of the system. Because if you look at the court system and the way that court system is broken down, we have small claims, we have county court, we have the circuit court, and then we go above that to the appellate courts, and so on and so forth. And that's at the state level. And then at the federal level, it's broken down. And we also at the state level have civil and criminal courts, and we have family law and juvenile courts, and so we have bankruptcy court, which is at the federal level. So there's all these different aspects of the court system. Then we have the different types of laws we have to talk about. And the different types of laws include, the U.S. Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land, statutes, whether they're state statutes or federal statutes, and what we call administrative law here, which is what falls under regulations and administrative codes and things of that nature. And then below that, we have our case law. And the case law just takes all these different aspects of law and creates law from a judicial perspective based on facts and circumstances that may apply to any particular regulation, statute, or constitutional provision. So that's how very quickly we break down those types of areas of law. What you're also going to be looking at this week is the constitutional aspects of the law. The U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land, as we all know. We're going to be looking at the different types of law, civil law versus criminal law. In civil law, we're looking at those automobile accidents, a slip and fall, a breach of contract, a trespass. But what's really interesting in wrongful death, what's really interesting is that a civil case can also be a criminal case, which we've seen in different aspects. And one of the most famous cases of all times that exemplifies exactly what I'm saying is the O.J. Simpson case. Remember, he was charged with the crime of murder regarding his ex-wife and her friend. And what happened was that he was not found guilty in the criminal court system, but then the family, on behalf of the victims, sued for wrongful death. And he was found responsible or liable for wrongful death, where from a civil standpoint, where he was not found criminally responsible and incarcerated from a criminal standpoint. So that's how it's very interesting when you look at civil versus criminal. Somebody can be held accountable in the civil court system without being held accountable from a criminal aspect. And that's because the standard of proof in the criminal court system is much higher than the standard of proof in the civil court system. And with the criminal court system, you're talking about taking away somebody's right to freedom, as opposed to a civil where you're looking at penalties and monetary damages that have to be paid for the wrong that's committed. So that's, when you look at things from a snapshot. Now, I know it looks like we have a lot to read, but I will tell you the chapters are easy chapters to read. You've got chapters 1 through 4, 6 through 7, and chapter 10 that you have to read. Now, before you go too deep into the material, remember also that there's a PowerPoint that's associated with this week. If you click into the PowerPoint, it also breaks down the content that we are studying this week. So as you go through it, think about it from the standpoint, the complexity, and making that complex system look a little easier and understanding the different levels of the American jurisprudence system. If you all have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Remember, look at your homework submodule folder, which shows what you have due from a homework standpoint this week. You've got the week 1 discussion that's due that covers the Houston versus Murad case. So you want to pull that case up. That's a very interesting case regarding the Americans with Disabilities Act. And you have quiz 1 as well as the Cengage video quiz. If you click here, it should take you directly to the materials associated with the Cengage video quiz. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact your instructor. And again, have a great week 1.